Hello and welcome back to the channel. This week is another What Am I Reading video. This time it's going to be for August, but before I let you know what I've been reading, what I will be reading for August, I'm going to let you know what I've been reading for July. Last time I said I was in the middle of reading Of War and Ruin by Ryan Cahill. I have finished that. Hey. It was a long book, it really was, but it was a good book. Again, Bound and the Broken series, I'm leaving that to one side for the moment. You'll have a full review of the whole series when I am finished, and that will lead into the August reads, by the way, as well. The other book that I was reading, or one of the other books I was reading, was Cressida McLaughlin's A Cornish Love Story, and I was really excited to read this, and I've got to say, it did not disappoint. So I'm on my Fable app. Oh, sorry about that. That was glary, wasn't it? I'm on my Fable app. I'm going to read to you the review that I put on Fable for it, and it will give you a little sense of what the book's about as well. So I really enjoyed the second chance romance. Told with a dual timeline, it tells the story of Ethan and Georgie, who had a teenage romance before fate and circumstance tore them apart. 13 years on, they find themselves face to face with a lot left unsaid between them, and thanks to a malfunctioning AI system, nothing but time in which to say it. I have to admit I preferred reading about teenage Ethan and Georgie because I enjoyed not only the development of their relationship but also their core group of friends. The contemporary timeline lost the coziness of Alperwick for me. Alperwick's the Cornish village in which it's set. So the contemporary timeline lost the coziness of Alperwick for me because of them being trapped in a super modern house for most of the time. They also spent a lot of time skirting around the past without actually broaching the subject of their shared history or their feelings about each other. Overall, this is a good read with relatable characters. So that was the only disappointing aspect of it. It's that I really want, and I'm actually looking back on it, I don't suppose that really is a disappointing aspect, because from a romance, don't you want to shake the main characters and just tell them to speak to each other, tell each other that they love them? And that's basically what Cressida McLaughlin attained with this story. That is what she achieved. I did spend most of the time just wishing they would say what they wanted to say and just be honest with each other. But I suppose if they did that in the first half of the book, we wouldn't have had a story. But yeah, I still stand by what I said. I did prefer the earlier timeline, just to see their relationship grow. I love that aspect of any romance. It's the development of their feelings, their relationship, their chemistry developing. I love that part, and that was really good in the earlier parts of the story. I would recommend this book. It was a really lovely summer read, and if you did read it, you would not be disappointed, in my opinion. The other book I've been reading is a book called Rest by, excuse me because I'm going to butcher the author's name, by Alex Soo-young Kim Pang. Okay, so it's basically this book tells us, I haven't finished it yet, but basically this book is telling us how to incorporate rest into our working lives. A few weeks, months ago, I think I mentioned it on the channel, I read a book called The 12-Week Year for Writers, and I had very high expectations for that book, but it didn't deliver because it wasn't talking necessarily about writers as authors. It was talking about like academic writers, and academic writers in America. So they were mentioning things like tenure and things like that, and I just didn't get it. I didn't connect with the book. This book, however, gave me, or is giving me, everything that book didn't. It is using examples from, literature. So you've got examples from how Anthony Trollope used rest in his writing routine. It's a really interesting book, and it's really relevant to me as an author. And I think it will probably, if you are interested, if you are a fellow author, I think this would appeal to you as well. Particularly the first half of the book. The second half of the book, I'm not connecting with as much as I did the first half. But we'll see, and I plan on doing a full, more in-depth review of this once I've read it, because I just think it's really useful, and I think the advice he gives and you know, everything that he mentioned in there is relevant to authors today. Let's move on to August. So what am I going to read in August? Well, first of all, there is a kind of like a BookTube event going on at the moment that I've just learned about, and it's happening in August. It's called Indie Author August, okay? And it was brought to my attention by Nicole's Bookish Nook, who her friend Kevin Towle reads, and I will leave their channels linked below. He is doing a reading event, okay, whereby booktubers, or anyone who wants to do this, really, you don't have to have a YouTube channel for this, will read indie authors in the month of August. The idea is you read at least 2, and then you rate and review their books on your channel. Or if you don't have a YouTube channel, that's okay. You don't need a YouTube channel. You can go on Amazon, you can come on our channels, you can leave comments below. Basically, what we're doing is we are spreading the word about indie authors. So for the month of August, I will be reading indie authors. The first book that I intend to read is Murderous Fairies by Nicole Broner, who I read the first book in this series a couple of months ago, in June I think, called Obsidian Murders. This is the second book, and I'm really interested in getting back into this series. I really like the characters. It's kind of like an urban fantasy, and it includes vampires, you've got werewolves, you've got fairies, obviously. You've got a snarky heroine, which is Tessa, who I really liked. And yeah, I just really enjoyed the first book. I'm interested to read the second book. And then hopefully next month I'll be reading the third book in the series as well. But yeah, I am interested to get back in that. The second book I am going to be reading is an ARC book by my friend and critique partner Amanda Sluthak. She has, this is an advanced copy, by the way, so this is not for sale yet. This book comes out in September 20th, so mark your calendars. And this is the second and final book in the Myths of the Northern Lands duology. The first book was Firefox, and I read that last year. And I loved it, really enjoyed it. So I'm really keen to start on Ice Wolves and immersed back into Dawn's world again. So that will be my second read for this month. And then my third read, which I will not finish, I can guarantee I will not finish, but I want to at least start it in August, is Of Empires and Dust, which is the 4th book in the Bound and the Broken series by Ryan Cahill. I am hoping that I can start this in August. This is another monster of a book, guys. It's like, I think the third book in the series of War and Ruin was about 1400 pages. I think this one's about 1600 pages. I mean, this guy writes epic fantasy, but good, and it does keep you engaged the whole time. I mean, I was struggling to believe that a 1400 page book could keep me that engaged, but it can. So I'm hoping that Of Empires and Dust will also keep me engaged too. I'm sure it will. But anyway, I'm hoping to start that in September. Start that in August, finish it in September as part of my September reads, and then after that it will be Christmas books, probably. Yay! Christmas is around the corner. Anyway, yeah, so they are my indie reads for August. Ice Wolves, Murderous Fairies, and starting Of Empires and Dust. What are you reading in August? Are you going to be taking part in this Indie Author August event, or do you already know of loads of good indie author reads that you could recommend to me? If you can, leave a comment down below. I will be very grateful. And as always, I hope you have a really good week, and I will see you in the next video. See you later. Bye.